Okay, so welcome today to our Lapland Lowdown. I have a very special guest here today joining me, and that's Lydia Lassila OAM. Welcome. I can't tell you how stoked I am to be interviewing you tonight. It is truly a great pleasure and a real honour. And for those of you who don't know Lydia, Lydia is one of the most decorated Australian Winter Olympians. You've completed is it 5 consecutive Winter Olympics?
5.
Games? Amazing. You've taken gold at Vancouver in 2010, bronze at Sochi, and I think it was Sochi that you were the first woman to land the quad twisting triple somersault. Is that right? I can't even visualize what that means.
But there's a lot of flipping and a lot of twisting, and first to perform it. For a woman.
Amazing. Yeah. Very cool, very inspiring. So well done. And then since you've retired from competition, you've done a whole lot of other things, which I'm really excited to hear about. And hopefully you'll share a little bit about that. And people may have seen you commentating at the Winter Games. As I previously mentioned to you, my family are completely Olympic obsessed. So we were like eyes glued to the television for the 2 weeks. And it was during that time that I actually picked up that you lived in Levi. You must have mentioned it a couple of times. And I was like, I think she lives in Levi part-time. The little stalk. And that's sort of how this connection has come about. And I got my brave on, as my kids said, and you asked her to interview you, and they were very excited. So I'm really looking forward to hearing a little bit about your journey, but also the fact that you're an Australian, you live in Levi, and we have so many Aussies come across to visit Levi for holidays. And I think one of the greatest challenges Australians have these days is, I think the more we know about Lapland now, like we're learning so much more about it, we realise how much more there is to see and do, and the options that are out there. And so I'm really keen for you to share a bit about Levi as a year-round destination, but also talk about the different times of year, because I know, Christmas is obviously very popular, but that can also become very hectic. So, popular, maybe not the best time to be traveling, depending on what kind of experience you're after and all of that. So, and you've also got a couple of rental properties that I'd love you to share about as well. So once again, thank you. I really do appreciate it. And we might get started. I'm going to start. I know I've given you a little bit of an introduction, but I'm going to throw over to you and just ask for you to share whatever you'd like to share about yourself with all the Aussies who are watching this.
Sure.
And a little bit about what you're doing now. Like, obviously you've had, you've been a high level elite athlete for so many years, and you've taken that drive elsewhere. But feel free to tell us what you'd like to tell us.
Thanks, Erin. Thanks so much for having me on your show. Wow, where do I start? Yes, currently based in Levi, Lapland. My husband is Finnish, so he actually grew up in the south of Finland and went to school in Rovaniemi and was also a competitive skier. He skied moguls for Finland. So we met on tour. That's my connection, I suppose, to Finland and how that started. 5 Winter Olympics as an aerial skier. And my last 2 Olympics, I actually competed as a mum. So I had Kai after 2010 when I won gold in Vancouver, and then Alec after 2014.
Oh, amazing.
So I actually went to 2 Olympics as a mum, and my second one I had 2 bubbas. I also started a business back in 2006 called Body Ice when I blew my knee at an Olympic Games. So I was obviously going in and out of surgery and had to ice my knee a lot, and there wasn't really anything suitable at the time that I could travel with, and it was lightweight, that was just kind of easy to use. So I spent a year off rehabbing, but also creating body ice, and that still exists all the way today. So we make ice and heat packs for injuries, and supply a lot of orthopedic surgeons that are doing a lot of knee and hip and back and shoulder surgeries these days. So that's one side of me. And I run another business called Zone by Lydia, which is a sustainable yoga brand. So we specialize in cork yoga mats and props, as well as hemp and organic clothing. So those both run out of Australia, and I manage a remote team while we live here in Levi, Finland. And so let's I guess I better talk about why I'm in Levi, Finland, and how that kind of came about. We actually live in Australia on the surf coast in Lorne in Victoria, and when COVID hit, obviously Victorians were very affected, and even regionally, even though we were, living kind of by the sea and in the bush. And I guess we got through about 6 months of homeschooling and said, no, this is not going to work for us. Let's get out of here ASAP. And so we always wanted to live in Finland at some point with the kids and just put them through the Finnish curriculum and schooling, because it's, one of the world's best, obviously.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we wanted to give them that experience. So we thought this is the right time for us. So as soon as we could leave, we did, and we left. The plan was for 6 months, and we're like, well, where should we go? And I'd spent a lot of time in Ruka, Finland, near Kuusamo area, training, and that was it still is one of the Australian team bases for winter training, for a lot of freestyle skiers. And so I'd spent a lot of time there, and it's kind of a pretty small resort, and not much of a kind of a township as such. It's quite compact, and I thought that's going to be a bit rough for 6 months. Where else should we go? And a friend of ours works in Levi, and we rang him up, and we're like, well, what's Levi like? And he's like, yeah, no, it's great. There's a brand new primary school, and the lifts are open here, and everything was kind of normal. So we're like, sweet, let's go. So we rented a place for 6 months, put a 6-month lease on it with the plan of coming back. Yeah. And so we arrived in the dead of winter.
It's never only 6 months, is it?
No, I know. Had I known, I mean, wow. It's just one of those sliding door moments. So we arrived in the dead of winter. We had Christmas, obviously, with my husband's parents in a little cottage, where they have a cottage in Suomu, and then made our way to Levi in early Jan, and it was cold and dark and proper winter, and we're like, this is great for the kids. And I remember rocking up to the primary school for the kids' first day. I was probably more nervous for the boys than they were, but Kai was in grade 3. Alec he was in prep in Australia, so he got downgraded to daycare, so he wasn't happy. And we just kind of we got to the school in the dark, minus 20 odd degrees, and we thought, well, this is in itself, an incredible experience. And because Kai, obviously, the boys have spoken Finnish since birth, and never kind of learned in the Finnish language or had written it down. So it's amazing. Kids adapt very quickly. Kai was, within 3 weeks kind of caught up and just ready to, just progressing great in school. So that was an amazing experience. I remember one day it was minus 40 outside, and I said to Lowry, my husband, I better go and turn the car on. He's like, don't bother, it's not going to start. And I'm like, what? So I went out, I'm like, it's not going to start. And I said, well, let's call a taxi because the kids are going to be late. And he's like, no, we're going to walk. And I'm like, what? Are you crazy? Minus 40? And I was like, and so the kids are like half eating breakfast, and it's like, Dad, what do we put on? And he's like, everything. So we all
the layers.
We rugged up, headed out the door, and the whole kind of eyelashes frozen over and that kind of thing. But on the way, we realized we weren't the only ones, like they're a tough breed up here, and there were a lot of people's cars didn't start obviously in minus 40, and they walked. And we're just like, oh, we're just one of the pack. We're not
Yeah.
very courageous at all. This is just another Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So long story short, we arrived into Levi. It was in the heart of winter, an incredible kind of experience. We escaped COVID to a place where schools were open, supermarkets, gyms were open, the ski resort was open. We were living a completely normal life, really, while everyone else was, you know, really suffering at home, which was hard to watch from our point of view. And then the 6 months came up, and things were still not settled in Australia, and kids were still not at school and sports. And so everyone was like, don't come back. Yeah. And so we stayed on and ended up buying a property and found a really great kind of opportunity. And it ended up being a property that we could rent out as holiday accommodation. So we renovated we love a bit of renovations. That's something else we're passionate about. Loved a bit of renovation. So we renovated the lower floor, moved into that, and now rent out the top 2 floors, which is called Scandi House Levi. Yeah. So amazing. Here we are 5 years later, and do the commute obviously between Australia and here, but the boys have gone to school here, and I get back to Australia as much as possible. Yeah.
And do you foresee the future in Levi, or are you thinking that you'll move around? Or I guess the kids are settled and you guys are probably pretty happy there.
Yeah, it's interesting. This year we'll spend half of the year in Australia. So, and we'll kind of transition to a bit of a homeschooling setup while we do that, because there's no really other easy way around it. So we're going to try that for 6 months just so I can be at home a bit more. And I don't think I'll be here for all of my life, but I love it here. And given our experience in the sliding door moment, I'm kind of not one to say where we're going to be in the next 5 years, because things could change, and we both have remote businesses, and that gives us the flexibility to kind of pick up and go, which has been amazing for us.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's amazing. I love that. I think that's part-time in a couple of countries. Actually, so my question for you on that is, which months do you choose to spend in Australia? Because most people would say summer, but you, I imagine, want winter.
It's funny because I do miss the ocean. I'm a real ocean person, and I love surfing. And yes, I love winter, but we get a hell of a lot of it here. So I'm ready for sunshine. The snow falls here in October and doesn't kind of melt until May. So it's a really long winter. Which is amazing. Like our backyard is, you know, you can go off and cross-country ski, you can skidoo, and then we're right near the slopes. So it's like, we've got access to a really amazing part of the world, and living a pretty amazing life here in terms of safety, and it's isolated, but you've got all the services you need. You've got great skiing conditions for 6 months of the year.
For a really long time,
And it's beautiful. Like, it is absolutely beautiful in a lot of different seasons. So I really like, we're in spring here now, and I really love spring because obviously the days are a lot longer and the sun's out, but the snow is still kind of hard packed, and love cross-country skiing and love being on the slopes. So there's lots to this place that I suppose a lot of people kind of are unaware, you know, about Lapland. Everyone wants to come for the Santa Claus trade, we call it, and the crazy time of the year actually is December before Christmas. Everyone wants to experience that white Christmas, which obviously is magical, but you are dealing with a hell of a lot of people all wanting to do the same thing as you. So all wanting to experience the Northern Lights, all wanting to see Santa Claus, all wanting husky rides and skidoos, and doing all of those kind of traditional, you know, Lapland activities.
And do you think people go to Levi specifically for that Christmas? Like, I've been to Levi, but I've only been in September, so end of September, October,
which is gorgeous because of the rooster, which is the autumn.
Beautiful. Loved it. So I don't really know what it's like in winter, like around that Christmas time. I've spent Christmas in Rovaniemi, and, you know, we did all the Christmas things and we loved it, like, you know, no question about that. But I do wonder, like, could you compare the two at Christmas time and comment on the differences?
Yeah, I think Rovaniemi is nuts at Christmas. It's and you've just got to be prepared for that. I think there's some really great experiences you can still have in the Rovaniemi region, but there's, you know, a very highly commercial kind of experience that everyone wants to be at. So the Santa Claus Village is one of them. You're going to experience long lines at that time of the year. There's a lot of people all wanting to do the same thing. So if it was me, I would come in January. It's a little bit quieter. You've still got like you're in the heart of winter then, like it's really wintry, and you're going to have the same kind of experiences, but you're not going to have the white Christmas, obviously. So that's something that everyone wants. But Lapland is a vast, vast expanse, and there are so many places that you can experience this white Christmas at. You know, obviously Levi is a ski resort. It is a busier hub, but there's some experiences here that are less commercial, I suppose, as Rovaniemi, and you still feel like you're in the wilderness and you're away from a city. So I think that's got its positives. Whereas Rovaniemi, you've got access to everything right there, you know. So if that's what you want to experience, then it's great. And just be prepared that there's going to be a lot of other people wanting to do that at the same time.
Does Levi have like a central kind of square or anything that is particularly Christmassy, or like if people are wanting to go outside Rovaniemi but still have that real Christmas vibe, is there something in the centre of Levi? Like I know there's the Elves Village, because I actually stayed out there in the Aurora Pyramids, which was amazing, and like that was really cool. There was no one else there. It was amazing. Had the whole place to myself. Which I loved. It was incredible. But yeah, like in terms of Christmas, like what Christmas vibe are people going to get if they do choose to go there at Christmas time?
Yeah, well, the central township of Levi is great. It's got restaurants, it's got bars, it's got all the things that you need, shopping. It's quaint, it's smaller, but it's kind of got a little bit of that kind of alpine vibe feeling. And around Christmas time, they set up, obviously, it's all the lights, it's dark. That in itself is Christmassy. There's snow on the ground, right? So there's not a lot of places that you can guarantee snow on the ground anymore. It's Christmas. Even, you know, Rovaniemi has had its ups and downs. Like this year was a great year, but last year it wasn't. And we're 4 hours Levi north of Rovaniemi. So we're up further into the Arctic Circle. So so you do get a little bit of the colder, just a slightly cold enough to make sure that there's going to be snow on the
stays around.
At that time of the year, obviously January into February, there's a lot of snow, and that's when the whole resort, you know, come after Christmas, pretty much the whole resort opens up. It depends on the snowfall, but you're going to have, if you're coming for skiing, you'll have better skiing in that Jan-Feb kind of period rather than before Christmas. And March is amazing for skiing as well. So, but yeah, the township itself, there's Christmas markets set up. And you know, you can grill sausages outside, and there's lots of larval pits, which are, you know, outdoor barbecue grills, I suppose. And you can drink blue vine, which they call glöggi here. And there's baristas outside, and it's cute.
Sounds amazing.
It's really cute. But I think what I love about Christmas, and we've spent a lot of Christmases here. Obviously, everyone gets to kind of shut down for the year and just have a breather, which I love. But it's the quietness of being in a remote location, whether it's a log cabin or somewhere in the kind of wilderness. I think those are the experiences that are most amazing, where you have lights set up and candles and Christmas tree and great food and your family. And that's that's what I need at Christmas time, and that's what I kind of want at Christmas time. And then you can dip into all the other activities. You can go into town and have a nice, drink, or have a chocolate outside, or grill whatever you want to grill and things like that. So I think that's the great part about Lapland, is that you can dip into kind of more social and hustly bustly kind of experiences, or you can totally just escape, and there's lots of space for that.
Absolutely. That's been my experience too. I've visited a few different places, and I like, you can have as much of it or as little of it as you want, and you can have the most amazing experience.
You can go cross-country skiing, or you could go downhill skiing, and that's, if you kind of liken it to an Aussie at the beach, like I spent all my Christmases at the beach growing up, and we'd go to the beach on Christmas Day and then go back and have a big meal and lunch and dinner. It goes into the night, and here we go for a ski, and then we go back in and have some Levi and eat yummy things. So it's kind of the polar opposite, but that's what we love to do, and that's a good Christmas for me.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I often tell people, is to not underestimate the value of the snow play. Like, just, allow downtime. Don't overcommit yourself, because I think we had Christmas in Rovaniemi, and we had 6 nights in Rovaniemi. We went out to Ranua for a few nights.
Yeah.
And then we went to central Finland to Kivijärvi.
Yeah.
And we spent a week there, and we absolutely loved Rovaniemi. We loved our Christmas. We did all the things. And then we got to Kivijärvi, and it was like, this is amazing, because it was, again, there was no one around us.
Yeah.
We were staying in this gorgeous log cabin. We had beautiful trails, snow everywhere. And I was like, this is unreal. And I think since I've been back, and I've been to lots of different places, I'm like, this is the vibe that I think if we went back again, this is what we'd want. I know that we'd probably also spend some time in Rovaniemi doing the fun things, because the kids love that. And I mean, I love it, a little bit of it. But as I sort of describe Rovaniemi or Santa Claus's Village as like Disney, the Disney, the equivalent. Yeah. And it is what it is. Like, it is, if you go into it thinking that it's going to be whatever, you just need to go in with, eyes wide open, I think, too.
And it's amazing for the kids. Like, they are going to have an amazing time, but just be prepared that it is, commercial. But there are experiences that aren't as commercial and are beautiful as well. Like, we did one here in Levi, because my family's come here for Christmas as well, and we did one called Finding Santa, and it's was it at the Northern Light Village, I think? I think
Search for Santa, was it?
Searching for Santa, and you're greeted by elves, and you go and make some gingerbread, and then you go through a winding forest and find Santa in a cabin who knows everything about your kids already, and starts asking questions about your mate Timmy, and the kids are just like, what? And so and that's a one-on-one experience. There's no one else around doing the same thing. Like, there's no one in your group. So there are some really beautiful experiences like that you can have, or you can do what everyone else does, and have a great time as well. Like, if that's what you want to do, or you can completely isolate yourself and and be in a cabin. And I think that's the beauty of Lapland, because everywhere you look, you're just like, wow, it's stunning. And
it's like being
kids that haven't, spent a lot of time in the snow, they'll just be outside. They'll just be in it the whole time, whether they're sledding or digging holes or, eating it or whatever. So I think it's everyone that stays with us, everyone that comes here is just like blown away, and then you've got the Northern Lights, and that's like, every time I've lived here for nearly 5 years, and every time I see it, I'm like, wow, like, it's just majestic.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? It's surreal. Yeah, I just recently did a trip. I had a group trip that I hosted in Kemiyavi, but I had a friend that came with me for 3 weeks, and so I took her to a few different places, and she'd never been to Europe and she'd never seen snow, and the whole time she was just like, this is just like the movies. This is amazing.
Yeah, it really is. And I think one thing that people underestimate about Finland is the food. And I think it's worthwhile. Like, there's some food experiences that you can have as well. Like here in Levi, there's a restaurant called Salmon Gummi, and where they serve traditional like Sami food, which is obviously the indigenous peoples of Lapland. So lots of reindeer, lots of smoked fish, lots of pickled kind of herrings. If you like fish, you're in the right place. Salted salmon, gravlax. You know, and it's just the thing I love about Finnish food, it's very close to the natural form. It's delicious. You feel like it's a really wholesome kind of meal. And I guess there's some reasons for that, and like the summer months and coming into, you know, autumn months are incredible foraging periods, and a lot of people still hunt here. You know, a lot of our friends are kind of they eat mostly vegetarian unless they've shot it or caught it themselves. And so there's this real connection here to nature and eating foods from nature, and I think that's one of the best things about living here. It's really beautiful to go next door in August and pick up a whole thing of, you know, blueberries and go. I go mushroom hunting, mushroom foraging in August and September, and I love it, you know. And it's just one of the most, and berries everywhere there. And so you harvest all these things, you make your juices, you put them in the freezer, and you've got them throughout the whole winter, and they're used. Like, you use a lot of berries, you know, game meat like reindeer, or you'll use mushrooms. Like, I make lots of different pies and mushroom sauces, and they, you know, hold you throughout the whole winter. So I think definitely experiencing some of the local grown foods is definitely something that people maybe underestimate. But I think should really try. I was just, I mean, it was a bit like I'm in a movie moment, or a pinch me, am I really doing this? Just walking through the forest, picking berries off the ground, eating them while I'm going. I was like, there's nothing better.
I know. It's just like, this is so cool, and it's so unique.
Summer months, like in Lapland, are pretty. June, July, mosquito haven. So
tell me, how does that compare? Because people tell me that all the time. Does it compare to Australian mosquitoes?
We don't stay here in June or July. I've never had any June or July here because of that reason. It kind of comes later in June, but July, don't do it.
Really? Okay.
They're that bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it depends what you're after. Like, there's fantastic mountain biking here in June and July, and throughout the summer, all the way through to September, really. So if you love mountain biking, it's great. If you love fishing and being in the wilderness and hunting, it's an amazing place, and foraging, it's an amazing place. But July is like, you're going to get devoured by a billion mosquitoes.
Okay. And people have said that, but I just have never known. I'm like, we get mozzies too. Like, is it really that bad? We don't get mozzies, apparently.
Outside and you are covered. Okay. No. Okay. And
so how does that go then for the midnight sun? Because like, that's the time of year that lots of people want to go there.
You're seeing the midnight sun before July. So May, June, great. Like, start of June, great. Okay. And then towards the end of June, the mozzies come alive, and they're ferocious. Because there's lots of swampland around. Yeah, of course. Lapland. And so it's just like the perfect kind of breeding ground for them, and they're crazy. But if you are into birds and fish, then it's heaven for you, you know. And
just need to be fully covered.
But you got to be covered. Yeah, you literally do. And so that's not my ideal, you know, summer, being covered after having a long winter. So we tend to go south to Helsinki and spend time with, you know, the grandparents and yeah. So the further south you go, like Helsinki, it's fine. You know, it's just normal. But Lapland in July is the mosquitoes are quite bad. A lot of Lappish people say they're not that bad, but I say they're bad.
Yeah, okay. I feel like if an Aussie's saying that it's bad, then it is bad because I think we get it badly here, but
and I get devoured. Some people don't, and maybe I don't know. You've been born.
Maybe you're not eating enough Vegemite.
Yeah, well, I do.
Is that what you meant to
do? Yeah, no, they're pretty bad, but it also depends where you go. Like, obviously, Finland is covered in lakes. There's a lot of water. There's a lot of swampland here. But if you're going to perhaps a flowing river, maybe it's, you know, and you can be right there, it's probably not as bad. You start to venture up into, you can take a trip up into Norway, which isn't as bad, by the coast, you know. And so there's a lot to actually explore here. You know, we drive 5 hours north and we're in the Arctic Ocean in Norway.
So cool.
So and you can surf at 3 o'clock in the morning because there's no sunset. So that's, and if you're a golfer, like playing golf, you got to contend with the mosquitoes, but you can play golf all night if you want to. They have like marathons for golf, like throughout the night.
So cool.
Very cool. So but or come August, it's a lot better, and that's great foraging season. So there's some really nice experiences from August onwards into September. Watching you know, the colours of the leaves change is something that really shouldn't be missed. Like if you are into hiking and foraging and photography and birds and autumn, if you love autumn, then this is amazing for autumn.
I was blown away. I'd never seen anything like it. I felt like I felt like I was in a movie, and it's so quiet at that time of year as well. I just felt like I was driving along the road. You know, I could drive 100 kilometers and not see another car on the road, but I was surrounded by this absolute like golden magic. It was so cool. Well, I'm
really
running another group trip in September this year in Utsjoki.
Great.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Just, you know, get to experience another part of Lapland at a beautiful time of year. So,
I've been there actually in that time of year. It's stunning, and then you're not far, you know, from there. You're really close to the to Norway, and you're just right on the border, and then you kind of go up and you can explore that kind of world up there as well, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of Levi, do you have a favourite season?
It's really tricky.
Favourite,
I love it all. And do you know why I love it all, except for July? Yes. Actually, except for kind of May, June, and then the start of October before the snow falls.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing happening. Like everyone's waiting for winter, but it's cold, and you know, you kind of get these couple of weeks of like just a bit.
If you're going to be cold, just be cold. Like
and then but as soon as the snow falls, everyone's like happy again, you know. And so, but the seasons are so distinct. Even in a long winter, you've got seasons within the winter. You know, you've got the Karmos, which is the darkness, and funny enough, it's kind of like I like it. Like you hibernate, it's quiet, you know, Christmas is coming, it's cozy. And then you've got these amazing kind of, well, the sun doesn't really rise, but it kind of comes to the horizon and then it goes back down again. And then, you know, now it's like long days, like, you know, the sun's up at, you know, 6 and it's going down at 8 or whatever it is at the moment. And then the days just get longer incrementally every day. So you're kind of literally watching the seasons change. And then at the start of June, it comes to life, like the dormant trees and all the silver birch just turn this bright green. It's like fluorescent, you know, because and everything just goes green, you know. And so it's just like amazing. I love the Ruska time. I love the foraging season. I love being able to pick berries and pick mushrooms and go fishing out just at the front of our lake, you know. So it's just like every season offers a lot, and it's
Something.
equally as beautiful. Yeah, and Rovaniemi is amazing, like during the summer as well. Like actually, the mosses are little bit better down in Rovaniemi.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
find, than up
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it just sounds amazing. It's my dream to one day spend 12 months there and just, see it all. It'll happen one day.
And just watching the changes in the seasons is really amazing. Coming from Australia, like you don't notice the changes that much. Like where you live in the Otway Ranges on the surf coast, it's always green, and then there's the ocean. There's not a lot of change in colour of the natural vegetation or anything like that. There's no snow, so it's beautiful, but it stays the same. Whereas here, you're like, wow, it's really different. Then you're watching the birds come back, and you're watching, animals graze, and then they somehow disappear and go, and then they're coming back again. And then so it's kind of it's got something for everyone. It's really cool. Yeah,
so special. So so very unique. All right, tell us about Scandi House. So you mentioned it earlier, and I think I said you've got one in Levi and one in Rovaniemi and one in Lorne. So tell us about the properties that you've got available for rental.
Yep, so we've got Scandi House Levi. So we sit about 1 kilometre from the town centre. And so you're out of the town, and we sit on a lake. We sit on Lake Emiljärvi. So we're a short walk into town, or there's a free bus. There's a shuttle service that goes to town and connects you to all the ski kind of points, so gondolas and ski lifts. So everything's like 5 minutes away by car or by bus. And then so on our property we're lakefront, so we have a hot tub on the lake, and we normally cut a hole in the lake so you can dip into the lake and experience the avanto, which is another experience, I suppose, that everyone needs to experience while they're in Finland and Lapland. And then we sit on we have a villa, so we sit on the lowest floor, and then above us are two contained 3-bedroom apartments. So each of them sleeps 6, with all of the services. Each has a sauna, as well as full kitchen and living and everything that you kind of need for your great stay. And then we've also got access to a barbecue outside, or a larval, which is an open kind of air grill that people can, grill whatever they want on. And so that's Levi, and it's great. There's a lot of backyard space for the kids, so we have lots of sleds, and they just go sledding and build snowmen and play in the snow, and you can see the northern lights from outside, so you don't necessarily need to go on a tour. You can just look up most nights if it's clear and see them. And so that's Levi. And then we have another property in Rovaniemi, which we acquired just last year. And that's more of a bigger house that accommodates up to 8 people at the moment. But a really lovely house, also on a riverfront. And that's about 5 minutes from Santa Claus Village and the airport. So that's a really nice location as well, where you are close to town, but you're feeling like you're away. So I think that's what we like about here, and what's what our guests like about here as well. It's so quiet, and they sleep so soundly. There's no sound, in the winter. People kind of just say, I just can't believe it. Like, I've never slept like this before. And because it's no sound, in the wintertime, and there's no traffic, and there's no bars, right here. Whereas in town in Levi, it's kind of like, well, you could be up all night, really. There's party people next to you or whatever. But here it's quite away, but you're still close if you want to be social and have that experience as well.
That sounds amazing.
No, they're great, and everyone loves staying here with us. So, and we love hosting them. We love kind of seeing people experience it for the first time, and experience this way of life, and they kind of want to come back. They just don't want to leave.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
It's always hard leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And did you want to mention your lawn property as well?
Yeah, lawn. So we obviously get back as much as we can there, but in other times we let that out as well. So that's sleeps 11 or 12, sleeps 12. One kind of big house with a contained apartment at the bottom, in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, obviously on the surf coast, and up on a really big hill. So you kind of feel like you're on a boat because the ocean is just right there, and you've got really beautiful ocean views. And that was a house Larry, my husband, and I designed and built ourselves. So it kind of is a culmination of all the experiences that we've had around the world, living in different locations, and putting it and pouring it into that house. So it's a beautiful space, and we love being there.
Yeah, I can imagine. It is a beautiful part of the world. We're in the Grampians, so we're not too far from home. I know the area well. Yeah.
And I think getting back to kind of this region, I think one thing people underestimate is how good the skiing is. And it's not the Alps, so you're not going to get 3,000 meters of, vertical descent. You've got smaller mountains, but the quality of the snow is exceptional because the resort is under lights, so you can ski, until from 9:30 in the morning until 7 p.m. at night, which is great. You've got all day to do it, and you've got lights. You've also got the fact that we're getting more and more people come from the Alps now because of the snow deteriorating there and want to ski here, which blows my mind, right? The Alps are still amazing, but the snow line is kind of all over, it's changing, and some regions have no snow at all, some have snow. The snow line is getting higher and higher. And what you kind of get in the Alps is that kind of melt. Come by midday, it starts to just melt because the sun's hitting it, and then it gets all sheet icy because it freezes overnight, and it's kind of, if you're not up there before 12, it's not that much fun. Whereas here it doesn't melt, so you get this kind of quality of snow that feels really nice and grippy the whole day, and it doesn't change because the sun's not hitting it. So during kind of the Jan, Feb, March period, right about now we're coming kind of mid-March to springtime is where the sun can show a bit of warmth, and start to melt it, but it's still the quality of the snow is really, really good. And if you love ski touring, there's so much option around. It's not just the Levi ski resort. You've got in all directions within 40 minutes, an hour, you've got multiple places where you can just go. They're mountains that are not they're not commercial mountains. There's no lift, so you can just go ski touring. And so if you're into that, and no one is there, so you're gonna have fresh tracks.
Amazing.
So if you're into that, then it's a great place. And obviously then you can take a trip and extend into Norway, which is, then you've got really high mountains and you can do a bit of the same thing. But the cross-country skiing is amazing here as well. If you've never taken that, I thought I'd never be a cross-country skier, but after skiing kind of downhill, but for so long, but it's something that I took up here, and it's just one of my most favorite escapes. It's click on skis after work. It's like going for a run, but it doesn't hurt my knees as much.
Well, maybe I should take that up.
In wilderness, there's no one else around, and you're just you can go for miles and miles and miles and just be in the forest, and so there's some pretty special experiences like that people don't tend to come to Lapland for, but you could experience, and you don't really need your own gear. The rental gear here is amazing, actually. A lot of kind of rental gear is pretty crappy, but here it's really good. You've got new boots, and you've got really well-tuned skis, and and the lift tickets here well, cross country skiing is free, but the lift tickets here are, you know, 65 euros, whereas you go into the Alps and you're spending at least 120 or whatever it is or more, you know, depending on where you are. And the US has gone bonkers, being over 200 US a day. So here it's like still cheap skiing.
Why would you not?
Mm.
Yeah. And in terms of ski, like locations to ski in Lapland, what would you say? What would you recommend? Like I've just been to Saraselka. We didn't ski, but obviously people go there to ski or to Ruka. Pia.
Yeah. So Ruka is Levi's the biggest ski resort in Finland. So you've got more terrain and it's just bigger. You've got more to ski. Sariselka's beautiful. It's just smaller, and you've got Pyhä, you've got Ylläs, all within, you know, not that far away. So, you know, you could get from here to Ruka in 4 hours. Ruka's more of a compact kind of ski resort. If you're really into skiing, I probably wouldn't, I don't know, I wouldn't maybe choose Ruka, but you're going to still have great experiences there doing all the other things outside of that as well. But if you want to ski, then I think Levi's probably a better place for that. And there's lots of smaller ski resorts kind of around. So if you're really wanting very quiet and intimate, then, you know, there's lots of choice, whether you go to Luosto or Pyhä or, you know, Ylläs is not that small, but it's smaller, and there's lots of resorts around here within, you know, an hour or two that are great.
Yeah, so good. It's great. Yeah. One of my favourite things about Lapland, I think, is just how well I think the Finnish have do so well at setting the outdoors up for year-round experience. Like it actually doesn't even matter how cold it is. There's always somewhere you can take shelter. You can go to the, what is it, Levi? Am I saying that correctly?
Laval. Yeah.
Laval. And they've got wood there available, and you can have your fire, and it's just, I just find that amazing. All the hiking trails are so well set up, and it's really a culture that is set up for the outdoors and for nature lovers. Like, I think the number of people that, like, I talk to about, you know, planning their trips, they go for the Christmas and the, you know, that experience, that magic, that white Christmas experience, but then they go back for everything else that, you know, they're just like, this is actually so much more than Christmas.
Yeah, and it really is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, the more people see and the more people share of that, the more it's like, and I think that's what makes it so hard for Aussies to plan their trips. Like, you know, where do we go? All the places look amazing. And I kind of say, well, they are. They're all amazing in their own right.
Yeah, and they are. And I mean, January is a good time for Aussies because that's our holidays. That's our summer holidays. You know, you're gonna still have like the darkness. You know, it's kind of gradually getting lighter and lighter every day. So you're still going to have that pre-Christmas darkness. You'll probably have a really cold snap. And so that will be something to experience. You know. And there's less people. So I think, I think January is probably, you know, a good time for Aussies if you're not wanting to do the pre-Christmas kind of thing. But January, Feb, like, I mean, as I said, all seasons are great, but January, when everyone's got holidays, is a great time to come to Lapland.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just been in January, spent 3 weeks there and loved it, and would absolutely recommend people go at that time of year. Particularly, as you say, if you're not going for the Christmas thing, like I always say to people, if you don't have to go at Christmas, don't. No. Go later, and it's cheaper too. Like, that's, you know, it's cheaper. Lots of places.
Cheaper, and the skiing will be better because you've got more mountain open by that stage. So as soon as the temperatures kind of like you've just got more snowfall, but they also make a lot of snow, so you're going to have full coverage everywhere by Jan. You know, so it's an interesting it's an interesting kind of, I tell our friends to come in January because Christmas and December's nuts.
Yeah. And it's nuts anywhere in the world, isn't it? Christmas is hectic. But yeah, nuts.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the world. Really
yes,
is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Why we're still here.
I am not surprised. I don't blame you. I think that's really cool. And what a great experience for your kids. That's so good. Love it.
Yeah, no, they're having a great experience and education, and for them to be able to get home and just head straight back out the door with their ski gear on and go skiing.
Yeah.
It's, they've got this level of freedom, which we love for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit different in other parts of the world, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Totally. Even Australia. Yeah. All right. Well, I will wrap up there because you've been so generous with your time and all your stories and, sharing all your knowledge and everything. It's been amazing to talk to you. I've loved it. And I'm sure that anyone watching this will really enjoy it. I will be sharing more information about your properties on my website as well. So people will be able to check it out there. But thank you. I'm truly grateful. And, I think you're amazing. You do amazing things and you're, a real icon of Australia. We're very lucky to have you.
Very kind of you. No, I loved having the chat. Thanks for having me.
No worries. All right. Thanks so much. And we'll chat soon.
Yep, sounds good.